Now let's get started here. Thank you. We're discussing factory of the future. Where does this come from? I think when we started the whole Industry 4.0 debate, there's a lot of good solutions, and we talk about digitalization and a lot of efforts. But I think we all need to put these Industry 4.0 ideas together to a compelling picture. And compelling picture means, to me, we need to have a compelling picture from the customer point of view. What is good for the customer? What is the added benefit of using Industry 4.0 technologies and digitalization in their daily business? And to be able to do that, we created a vision which we call Factory of the Future. And let me start with the vision. I think what we were coming from was the idea is, what is the ultimate benefit for customers in the industrial environment when it comes to using digitalization? And what we discussed in this context is what you can see here. We said we need to address the big fundamental issue in manufacturing. On the one hand, we know historically manufacturing is about manufacturing big volumes with massive productivity. It's also about global manufacturing networks, but we see an increasing trend into customization of products. And what you can see on this slide here, we will have to address this upper part where people are pulling the rope, where we have the classical mass manufacturing. But at the lower end, we see the requirements that are coming in from the Industry 4.0 perspective. And Industry 4.0 means that we're not only looking for maximum productivity, but we're looking for batch size 1 productivity. That means customized products, small volume products, but at a similar price and quality position as we traditionally know it from the mass manufacturing that we're used to. And trying to combine these two fundamentally different challenges is maybe something that's really worth going for and presenting a new picture for the future. So the future is we can manufacture lot size 1 under circumstances of mass production when it comes to cost and quality. And that is what we're trying to address with the view of the factory of the future. And we believe this is extremely interesting and valuable for many, many companies. So what is the solution then? What is the factory of the future? And you can see it in the slide here. First of all, we have an empty factory hall. And an empty factory hall means we have a building that basically only consists of ceiling, a floor, and 4 walls. And that's the only thing which is fixed. Anything else in the building is mobile and perfectly movable. And you can see it in the middle screen here. In the middle screen, we have the equipment. And the equipment of the future is mobile. It's even autonomously mobile, so that the factory equipment can arrange itself according to the job that needs to be done in a day of manufacturing. And to the very right-hand side, what we see here, that's a symbolism of the digital twin and the whole digital organization of the manufacturing work stream. What does it mean? We believe that in the future, customers will want to customize their products on their own on the internet. They will then set their order to the manufacturer. The manufacturer has to use the data from there continuously on, go into procurement, into pre-production, through the production process, through the quality supervision, but also in the dispatching, send the material away to the customers, and finally trace the product for its whole lifetime. If we are able to do that, we have a completely changed and digitalized manufacturing process, and that is what Nexeed is all about. Nexeed is about creating this manufacturing environment based upon the corresponding software solutions. How can it look like in the detail? Here we see a typical idea that we had in 2017. We would have a vision where you see the factory floor. The factory floor is charged inductively, so the operational material can move. We create an assembly line. We have open floor space. Now we're doubling the volume. We double the assembly lines. We have more equipment in place. That is something that is still very, very known. What happens if we do another product? If we're going for another product, we take machinery out, we rearrange existing machinery, we bring new machinery in, we start a new automatic manufacturing process that is producing a different product from the product we've seen before. That is the general idea of what we're trying to do with the factory of the future. An interesting thing is We see it as a 10 to 15-year vision, but what you can also see at this point in time, very often we see more and more elements of that coming into operation in our own product offerings, but you also see more and more suppliers of the industry all over the world that are moving in this direction. So we believe it's no longer a vision only for 2017 and the next 10 years. It's moving on a worldwide basis. When we go in the next vision today and we see what we have today, then we go a step further. We have even more movable equipment. We introduce 3D printing in the process, as you can see it at the beginning of this process. We go from step to step. We meanwhile have the software solutions that connect the different stations. We have a permanent data flow that goes back in the quality supervision, but we can also trace the production process for any mistake or error that is in the production process. So we basically fault-proof the production process, and at the same time, we collect all the data that are associated to that. We make the products, but we have a complete lifelong supervision of the product, and we can do that by air. You see the symbolized smartphone down there. With the operator, we are permanently in control of the whole production process. This is what Nexceed is about, planning the process, but also making it traceable on a lifetime basis. So, is it just vision? No, it's not. We have been trying to build this vision up. We have presented it here. You see some pictures of the last Hannover Trade Fair that happened physically. What you can see in the foreground is equipment that we're manufacturing and selling meanwhile. That is cobots, that is AGVs, that means autonomous transport vehicles, but also movable press stations with this camera-controlled assembly stations, all that stuff that you see. And this is all products that can be bought today. They are available. You can see in the background we have an animated digital display of the factory, so we can see, we can take it from there into further manufacturing steps and create even more value and go for new applications. So we are really doing that, and let me be a bit specific about that. The products that we have, we basically put into 3 product categories on the timeline. Number 1 is now, that is what we can sell now. Next is what's coming in the next 1 or 2 years, and beyond is on a long time horizon in 5 to 10 years. When we talk about next, we talk today about intelligent software, we talk about autonomous robots, but also we're talking autonomous quality inspection by camera technology and the use of artificial intelligence. What does it look like? Here we see what we do with the Nexceed solution. We are combining all the functionalities into a grade, what we call also in another name, except the product name Nexceed, we call it a manufacturing backbone to control the manufacturing and logistics in the manufacturing plant. That means we also want to make sure availability and maintenance of machines is happening, but we can also quickly react to changes in the value streams, build up a different value stream as I've shown to you before in the animation. And we will also add in more functionalities and products like, for example, a brand new automation, which we call Control X. And the Nexceed functionality can be integrated in those devices, but it's also available as a software only. What it will do, Nexceed will be the brain of the factory of the future. So what do we have as well? Here we see Active Shuttle. That is a very modern and very state-of-the-art autonomous transport vehicle, quickly integrated in production. We talk about 2 hours of commissioning, automatic map update with a LiDAR sensor technology. It will create a map of the factory, will be able to adapt to that. And with the fleet management around it, it will also be able to see changes in the plant and adapt the logistics correspondingly. But what we will also do is we will be in a position to do data-based business models on this basis. So what we also have is Control X automation. This is a very modern, brand new control system for factory control. It's much more than an SPS only. It comes with a whole new generation of drives and servo motors. But what's more important is from the software perspective, it's a completely open system. You can program it in any language. And it has downloadable software functionalities from an app store where not only we, with our own app functionality, provide functions, but also other users, producers, and players on the actor automation or factory market can put in their solutions and download them risk-free on this automation control. What's very important, this technology is future-proof for 4G and 5G technology as well. The next one, and then here we're clearly talking about the next generation on the long run. We're talking about the intelligent floor and intelligent assistant. What you can see here on the basis of what I've been telling you before, here we see the new factory ground, the new factory layer, let's call it that way. This ground floor can take up to 1.5 tons per square meter and can transfer 4 kilowatts of power. And it also can be used for less precise localization tasks up to an accuracy of 0.1 meter. That will allow a lot of new functionality, particularly the wireless operation of the new machinery. And here we have this product which you call Intelligent Assistant. It's a combination of the autonomously guided transport vehicles with new robot technology. And that will allow that we're not only doing autonomous robot, but we're also in a position to unload and load the trays or the assembly lines. But what we can also do is we can provide tasks while we are in the transport phase. And in the transport phase, we can do sorting operations, we can do quality checks, we can do camera supervision, or other tasks that are used in this time in between that is usually not a productive time. Coming to the end, when you imagine we're doing this radical view of a factory in which we explain what could be done with a factory of the future, it will naturally provoke questions. What about the human people in the factory? What is the role of people in the factory of the future? And the role of the factory, of the people in the factory of the future will continue to be a success factor, but the roles of the people will change. Yeah? The operators will no longer be solely in the current production process. There will be more and more automated tasks. But our associates will work more with collaborative robots that take monotonous and heavy work away. But what we also see, we will have more coordination and process improvement tasks. And that means, if we do that, we will be in a position where the human operation will be more about optimizing the processes and coordinating improvements and introducing new tools, rather than the physical operation of a classical workload that exists within a plant. This will also require that we go with a different skill set of IT, and we go with specific training modules that we train also in Industry 4.0 Academy that we are running. Okay, let me come to a summary and go back to the main messages. The factory of the future is a fully flexible and adaptable. Yeah? It will try to combine the big paradigms of mass production and individual product production and allow small volume batch sizes or even lot size 1 under mass production circumstances in terms of cost and quality. Core technologies will be autonomous and collaborative robots. It will be a 5G network. It will be new control technologies. And most important of all, it will be a customized factory-controlled software that can organize the whole production of the future, as we are discussing it today here in the context of this event. To make the factory of the future a reality, we are developing a complete portfolio alongside our vision. And within the next years, we will add step by step to complete the whole chain of products and solutions that we have been indicating in our animation. People will continue to be a success factor, as I said before. They will be on the shop floor, but the profile of their jobs and duties will change. And I think last but not least, Bosch is an excellent, has an excellent reputation as a manufacturing company. We are operating close to 300 plants worldwide with very, very diverse products. We have the manufacturing know-how and we have the domain knowledge to make it happen and come with practical and usable solutions to the world of our customers. Thank you.